All right, we're going to be laying what we call Austin stone on this fireplace here, and what you want to do is start with your corners. I've already spread the mud here, and I have my string ready with that jig that I made up there, and I'm going to lay this first one. You want to lay it and keep it about 5 inches away from your wall. That's how we're going to have it all the way up. You want to lay it and put your level on it. Looks like it needs to go down a little bit on this side. Right there. Measure it again. 5 inches. 5 inches. And from this side, 5 inches too. So we're going to pull it back just a little bit there. Get my 5. There we go. Now the string, I put a nail on the end of it. What I'll do is I've stretched it down and just stick it under that rock right there. Now we have a line to follow on the whole corner. We'll do that on all 4 corners. All right, with Austin stone, there's usually 3 different sizes. There's 8-inch, there's 4-inch, and there's 6-inch Austin stone. And if you stack 2 4s, it'll equal an 8, or a 4 and an 8 will equal 2 6s. And here's a 6. And what I've laid down here so far is an 8, and you can see the 2 4s work out with an 8. Now I'm going to put another 4 out there, and I'm going to show you how you can cut them. All right, to measure this, what you want to do is stay a pretty good mortar joint away from that rock, and then a mortar joint away from this one, which looks like about 11 and a half. So we've marked one over here, and 11 and a half right here. And to cut these, all you really need is a skill saw and a diamond blade that'll fit on the skill saw. My son will show you how to cut one. Excellent. That's all there is to it. As you get to your fireplace opening right here, you want to overlap your rock about 1.5 to 2 inches. So I've made a mark down here, took a level and plumbed the mark up there where I've got some wood, and I've rigged a jig up there where I can pull a string down once I get that rock laid. We've got one pre-cut here. We'll lay it. Right there and right to my mark. Get flush here. Take your level. Get it level right there. Measure out 5 inches. That's pretty good right there. 5 inches. Now what you want to do is take your string that you have rigged. It's going straight up from this point. The way I put a nail on the string is I come down here where you've got a little bit of stretch, where it'll be kind of tight. And all you do is take it and do it like that. Loop it twice. Put your nail in there. Get it tight, and it ought to be about the right stretchiness for that. Put it right on that corner right there, and you're ready to go on up. Now after you've laid this, you want to fill this in good and solid right here. Right behind it. Just like that. Now you've got this joint in between the rock and the fire brick filled up solid. Now I've built both sides of the firebox up. I've gone up approximately 27 inches from the floor of the firebox to the top. You can give or take an inch. Now it's real critical to have these two walls level because we're fixing to cross over the top. That's pretty well right on it right there. Now to go across this, I've got a 4x4 piece of angle iron, which fits on both walls, overlaps both of them. And now I'm ready to lay rock all the way across this thing. As you notice down here, I've laid brick here. The only reason I did that is because there's going to be a hearth that comes out here and it's going to hide all that. So instead of wasting rock, I just decided to put brick there because it's not going to show anyways. You might be wondering why I've left 2 holes in this front of the fireplace here. It's simply to hold the mantle up. I stick 2 rock in there as I've done on this other side, as you can see. In filling these head joints like this right here, a lot of times you can throw mud up on top and push it down, but that one would be kind of a long ways to do that, to fill it in solid. So what I use is what you call a tuck pointer. What I'll do is I'll get some mud here, and I'll get some suction on it by beating the trowel against it where the mud doesn't fall off. That way, you can hold it however you want to, straight edge with that. Take your tuck pointer and just push that mud in there. Just like that. You can push it in there pretty solid like this. Makes it a little easier. Again, put some suction on it, hold it up, and push it in. Just like that. Well, I've pretty well finished all the inside of the fireplace here, except the hearth down here. And if you can remember, I've stuck these rock out to set the mantle on. And the reason I put these brick here is because if I would have laid rock right there and you push the mantle on there, you'll have all kinds of little spaces because the rock is real rough. So what I did, the mantle is a 4x12 piece of cedar. So what I've done here is inset some brick about an inch. That way the mantle will slide inside there and fit flat against this brick here, and then I'll put mud around the edges there, and it'll look like a real clean finish on that mantle. Now I'm continuing my flue liners up as I bring these walls. Now how I got these measurements on these walls is that I simply nailed the 2x4 straight out from the opening that I've got to go to. And then I took a level and plumbed down from it down to my main wall down here. And then I marked it and I set my first rock and then stick a nail in it, pull a string down. You do that with all 4 corners. You continue these walls coming up right by the flue liners all the way up. Well, we finally made it to the top of the chimney here, and this is what it should look like when you get there. We've got our walls beside our flue liner coming up and our flue liners, and the flue liner needs to be higher than your rock or brickwork because we're going to put a mud cap on this thing and slope it down. Now I put a course of brick on top of the rock, and what that allows me to do is have a lip right in here where I can put steel rebar in here to catch these 2 lips. Now that I have that on there, I can seal it all off with brick all the way across here, and it'll all be sealed off, and then we can put a mud cap on it. Okay, now we've sealed this top of the chimney off with a mud cap. Now to put on this flue liner to help rain and varmints from ever getting in there, you can get these weather caps that go on top of the flue liner. And they're made to fit on just the size that you get a flue liner. Just like that. Then you just tighten it up with a flathead screwdriver and that's it. We're done up here. Well, now it's time to cap off these step ends right here. And we're going to pretty well do it the same way we did the top of the chimney. What I've done here is I've cut a piece of sheet metal here that I'll lay across here. Just like that. And now I can throw mortar on top of here and slope it down and cap it off. And now we're ready to start our hearth in front of the fireplace. And right here, I've had to build a retaining wall because this wall is going to go all the way around this porch. So I can have something to butt my hearth up against. Now, this hearth is going to be 18 inches out and 18 inches out here this way. So what I've done, I've squared off lines exactly 18 all the way around this thing to start with. And all you have to do is lay your rock straight up in those lines. Well, we finished building the bottom part of this hearth. When building the bottom part, you need to keep in mind the height on what you're going to cap it off with. Because your cap needs to be an inch or an inch and a half above the floor of your firebox. On this particular fireplace, we're going to be laying flagstone on there, which is close to an inch, inch and a quarter thick. By the time I lay it on here, it'll be an inch or so above the floor of that firebox. Well, now the hearth is finished, the fireplace is nearly complete except the mantle, and we're going to see how that fits on there. That's your side over there. There you go. All right. Well, that about does it except mudding around the mantle. And remember, just take your time, do some double checking on your measurement and plan a little bit ahead of time. And as long as that bubble's right in the middle of the level, you shouldn't have any problems. Thank you for watching.